How's it going, Scrub Gamers? It's your boy Scrub Games coming at you with a juicy new piece of content for you to enjoy. But before we do get into the topic of the video, I just want to let you know how you can help support the channel, and that is by checking out Firestorm Games using my affiliate link in the description box below. Because Firestorm Games offer a whole host of products for almost every kind of hobby there is, be it Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, One Piece, you name it, and they'll likely have it, and at some quality prices too. So just make sure to click the link below and check them out to see the whole host of products they offer while helping support the channel. And also, remember, there's another way to help out the channel, and that's by dropping a like, leaving a comment on the video, and best of all, hitting that subscribe button to keep up to date with my content when it drops. Because I'm still on the road to 1k subs, I'm looking to hit that by the year's end. But now we've got all that sorted, let's dive into the topic of the video. So, Scrub Gamers, as the title of the video suggests, this is my deck profile for Cellmax. Now, it will have a few changes due to some of the cards released in the next set, namely that amazing floodgate, but you only need to sort this out. For now, I thought I'd just give my deck profile for the Cellmax deck. I used a few weeks, like about a week or two ago, in the Hermit Star Locals League thing. And just to go over the list, just to put that out as well, because I normally do it when I do a video. Normally is either, most of the time, there's requests for the list and stuff, like with any game. People see a deck that they like and they want us to basically just play it, so they just go list this. And I thought I'd put out the deck list for Cellmax, and just go over it a little bit to basically understand a bit about it if you're not aware and wanted to give it a try. So, let's get into it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, helps the channel out. We're on the way to getting closer to 800 subs now, and like the aim is to try and get to 1,000 by the end of the year. But like as close as possible will be enough. We're trying to get to 1,000, but we'll come 800 soon. And yeah, let's have a look. Start off with the leader. So zoom in, like it's a nice little feature we have in Deck Planet now. Once again, Deck Planet being the best and only deck builder really in the game. And we've got, the front side being just Cellmax, then flipping over to Cellmax to Varanir. This is a pre-release leader, so this is a leader you can get from the pre-release when you took part in the set 22. Yeah, set 22 pre-release. That's when we had the red being the Red Ribbon Army stuff, and whatever the other side was, I can't remember now. But we had to go on. That's the one. So we'll just have a look at a little bit of view to see how this deck functions, like how this leader functions. It's not too difficult, it's not too complicated, it's quite simple. I like the effects on it. So the front side with Cellmax, you've got an auto when you attack, you draw a card, then you add up to one card from your life to your hand. So similar to what we've seen before, like we've seen since around about set 4, I think it was. We've had things like that. It's just attack, draw a card, and then add up to one card to your life. So it's mandatory to draw a card, but it's optional to take a life. And the nice thing about this is the draw is first, then up to life, whereas some ones we've had before, where you've got to take a life to be able to draw. This has got the right way around, where you draw, then you can choose if you want to take a life. So if you want to take a life to awaken, or if you don't want to, like say you get to 4 life, and you want to just get the draw from the lead before you flip over, you can do that, swing, draw, not take a life, then awaken. And it also ties into the awaken as well, because the awaken hasn't got an alternate awakening condition. It's how most decks have, like with military awakening, just a simple one. When your life is 4 or less, just get 4 less life. Draw 1 and untap 1 and flip over. So you get that. Draw 1, untap 1. Nice is a nice thing, because we've been seeing a fair few leaders nowadays for the last set or two be ones that just draw 2. So we're getting a little bit less of the draw 1, untap 1. We had the whole period where we're just getting mainly that draw 1 leads. Now we're getting more draw 2s, and a little bit less like how we kind of just get the untap 2s. We haven't seen those for a good while, and we're kind of strong using the draw 1, untap 1, and going into more draw 2s for leaders. But it's got the little benefit of getting extra draw and extra energy, which is really nice. Very rare to see, not as rare nowadays, but a little bit rarer now. And then you flip over to Cellmax to Varanir. But now your auto isn't needing to attack to get the advantage. Now it's got a different way to get advantage, and it's either a player's turn as well, so it's not just restricted to your turn. And as auto once per turn, when the power of one of you or your opponent's battle cards is decreased, you draw 1 card. So that means any time during either player's turn, when the power of battle card on your side of the board or your opponent's side of the board is decreased, you draw a card. So it turns some of the cards, like some of the cards in the deck, has a fair few cards in red, that minus into draws. And this is either player's turn, you can get a draw during your turn when you do it. Then your opponent's turn, defensively, minus something at theirs, you draw a card. It's really good. So you can draw quite a bit, and you can get quite a good hand size as well. And that's really nice to have it on both players' turn, which is pretty cool. And then the only other effect you've got from Awakening now, as well as being a 15k lead now, is an activate main, which you're only going to really use probably twice a game. If you, depending how you build your Z deck, you're gonna really only have it twice, or it could have a little bit more. But it's activate main once per turn. Place up to place one of your red battle cards in your drop. So it's any red battle card, so not just a red ribbon, not anything specific. Just as long as it's red, any red battle card, you just got to place it in your drop, and that's the cost. And then the effect is during that turn, the next time you pay the energy cost to place omnidirectional beam in your battle area from your Z deck, you reduce the energy cost on that card by 2 red, meaning that you reduce essentially the Z card, which we'll see in a bit, from a 3 cost to a 1 cost for the turn. And that's gonna be really handy because you don't want to be paying 3 for a Z extra. Like, even though the Z extra probably helped you lead a draw, you still don't want to pay. You want to keep the cost of playing cards low. That's what the aim of the game is now. Play good things, but don't pay too much for things. You want to have a good cost to play the card comparable to its power, like a good power to good cost. And that's the lead. So yeah, this is the only Cell Max lead we got so far. Nice little promo one. It ties in with a fair few bits of the Red Ribbon Army stuff we got in the set with it as well. There's a few things that were made just for it, and a few bits that coincide with the magenta leader it had in the same set. But that is the leader. So now we will go into the deck and have a look at each of these cards to see what's in it. So we'll start off with the stuff for the theme first. So there's a Red Ribbon Army leader, and there's a load of Red Ribbon Army stuff in there. So we thought we'd incorporate that, because just to help that consistency, and some of it's actually pretty good. So first one we got is Dr. Hito, a Heroic Brain, question mark. Now, the one like this is a 1 cost 4k, just a little searcher. We'll play 4 copies of this because you just want to get that consistency, find some of the Red Ribbon Army cards you want to see because they're really handy, especially like some of the stuff to help you awaken, or some of the big bosses as well. And the permanent's irrelevant, I'm not even going to go over it, but the auto is what's the main reason we incorporate it for, and this is because it's a searcher, so when it's played, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, look to add up to 1 red Ribbon Army card to your hand and shuffle your deck. Like, it should be quite rare to whiff, but it is a chance, because that's the same with all searches. You can potentially, depending how many whatever the thing you're searching for is, you include in your deck, the chances you could potentially hit that. But it's going to be rare, but there's going to be a lot to put in, and if you feel like you're getting quite low on cards of the deck, you can always choose not to use it as well. So that's our little searcher. Then we've got the cantrip, being magenta, path to wish fulfillment. We got 4 copies of this as well, because not only is it just useful as a cantrip and being a Red Ribbon Army card, it's also got a lovely little ever auto. And since we lost Champa and hit Supreme Kai, for every deck to have a generic way to slap double strike on any swing, we a fair few decks have got their own little in-arch type one, and magenta is the one for this because it's got an auto, a second auto, which is only 1, so you can use it once across all copies of the card's turn. But you got to pay 1 red as well. If your leader is a Red Ribbon Army card, so it only works with this card at that tag, which currently is only this lead and the magenta one because the gamma one got banned. And as well, I think it can work with it's a red Ribbon Army one, so it only works with this and magenta lead. So that's the cost. Just pay 1 if your leader is a Red Ribbon Army card, or red Ribbon Army card. When this card is used in a combo, choose up to 1 of your red Ribbon Army cards, and it gains double strike for the battle. So you can check that on your lead, on one of your battle cards, just any card in a battle that's a Red Ribbon Army. You can, when you combo with this and pay at 1, you get to give it double strike. So it's only it's a 1 cost 5k essentially then, because you're paying that 1 red. But still, it's a way to give double strike for a battle, especially if you're going all in with your lead, which is a lot harder of a swing to deal with. If you can't stop the attack, you have to then combo out, because there's no way to like mid-battle stop it, unless you're food redirecting it. And this is really handy. So we got, and also just being a cantrip could be very useful as well. Just play it, get the draw, and then sack it off. Say cheapen the cost of your Z extra. So you have 4 copies of each of those. Then we've got 3 copies of Magenta Emergency Armament. I did have 4 copies before, but I kind of reduced the 3 because sometimes it would be useful, or sometimes I use up the Z extra, and it wouldn't be as great. But I didn't realize until after a little bit playing it's 15k, so you always want to combo off a sack it off straight away because it can actually put it through a swing quite decently. But there's another way to also trigger the, and all for free, trigger the auto on your Awaken side lead to get that draw, because it's got a counter attack skill, which is a bit one. So once again, you can use this effect once across all cards per turn. And it is play this card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So that's pretty sick. So you don't negate the attack, so the attack is not being stopped. But you get to play this out. Doesn't have blocker, even if it had blocker, it would come down. It would not come down or be able to trigger blocker before anything. So it's just not stopping anything. It's just coming down, and then go minusing 10k power on one of your opponent's battle cards. Which, if the card attacking is a battle card and it's not got barrier, you can make that attack more bearable and get the draw, and then establish this 15k either to attack with or to sack off your leader's effect. And it's got a nice permanent to make it free, because you might be looking at it thinking, no, it's not free, it's got a free cost and as one specified red. Well, it's got a permanent as well, which is if your leader is a red Cell Max SH card, so it only works with this lead. And you have a red Z extra card in your battle area, so there's one that comes with the lead as well for the pre-release. So yeah, once you got that as well, so you need to have that Z extra out as well. So that's one little priority you got to do, is get that Z extra out. And you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its entry cost. So as long as you got that Z extra out, and your leader is this lead, you can use this counter attack for free from your hand, which is really nice. So a free way to trigger that without using any energy or any real resources allows you to get that the trigger, which is really nice. And then we've got 4 copies of this absolute banger, being Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Hero's Mission. So this is a 5-drop 15k, and this one is one of the best defensive cards for the deck. And it's quite difficult to stop because you got I think only red really has a good chance to stop it, because red with its counter plays normally go for power and it's 15k or less, whereas ever counters, ones require it to be a certain cost, or like in yellow they didn't really stop it unless it doesn't really stop it from actually being played or by using the effect, whereas like green and black and blue, they hit specific costs of cards and then move it somewhere else. But being a 5 cost means kind of like unaffected, you can't really like counterplay it too badly. And it's got some nice effects as well, really good ones for this deck, and we're only going to focus on the first auto and the Activate Battle. So we're focusing on the Activate Battle first, because that's how you can play it out, and that's where the best benefit is. Well, the first best benefit has got 2 good benefits. And that's Activate Battle limit 1 for 1 red, so once again you can activate this effect once a turn across all opposed cards. And its ever cost is if your leader is red and you or your opponent have 3 or more energy, so it doesn't matter who gets a turn free first, whoever gets a turn free first makes this live. And that is the effect, and then that is the cost, and the effect is you draw 1 card, so you replace it in hand. Play this card from your hand, so you play it to the board, and then choose it to one of your red cards that gains 10k power for the battle. So it's essentially like how we've had with pseudo super combos like Unbreakable and the Cell, where it's just a 1 cost 10k so essentially a 1 cost 10k combo, but the difference is you get to play this out as well, so you don't just combo the card off and then lose it, Z-charge it, or put it into drop. You actually get the play the card, so you play the card, get 10k power for the defense or offense, and also replace it off by drawing a card like the other ones do. But then it goes to a further benefit by the first auto, and that is when this card is played, you choose up to one of your red Ribbon Army cards, and it gets 5k power for the turn. And you would have guessed it that Cell Max, the leader, is a red Ribbon Army card. So defensively, you can use this to kind of bean your leader up, give it 5k permanently for the turn, and also extra 10k for the battle. So it's a 15k, it's a 15k power boost for 1 energy. And playing outwards, so you can combo, you could potentially go to 20k on a swing, offensively or defensively, to get a 20k boost for 1 energy, and have 5k permanently for the turn, and even as E-charge if you do decide to combo it to get the full 20, and that's just really handy. So defensively, once you get a turn free, you've got this live to then defend yourself, make it a little bit easier, and that's why we play 4 copies, because it's searchable from Hido, because it's a red Ribbon Army card, and it's a great way to help defend with your lead. Then some other ones we've got is the TP, Cell Max, Appearance of Despair, and we'll go over the ever 8 drop as well, which is Cell Max, Return of Despair. So here is your 8 drops that you're going to be dropping, and ones that are going to get very good benefits from your Z Extra, as we'll get to in a little bit when we get to Z deck. But start off first with Cell Max and TP. So we play 4 copies of both of them because it's really good cards. And they come down very cheaply for 1 energy as well, because you don't want to be paying 8 for things. No one does that anymore. And yeah, Cell Max, it's got a really good first effect to help you awaken as quickly as possible. So get yourself down to 4 soon, so you can flip over and start getting that big advantage of just minus every turn drawing a card. And that is activate main limit 1 for 1 red. If your leader is a red Cell Max H8 card, and you have 2 more energy, so you need to hit at least turn 2 and have this leader, so it only works with this lead. But you play this card from your hand, and then you add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So early days, that's quite early turns, that's quite nice to just get rid of little cantrips, things that people have played, just little weenies, just that they've just used to use up their energy and draw through the deck. Get rid of those. And on the when you get to Awaken side, then it's another way to just drop out for 1 energy, a 20k, and trigger the leader's effect. So more ways to trigger that. But early turns, it's just to help you awaken as quickly as possible, so you can then flip over and get that big more of a benefit. Get the Z extra down as soon as possible, and then just have it as 20k swing. Now if it does survive long enough, and you get to your turn 4 or turn 3, yeah, turn 3 is the turn when you use this. Then you got the Ever Activate main, which is once per turn for 1 red. If you have 3 or more energy and you place 1 red ribbon army card, one red ribbon army card in your drop as the cost, you then get to switch this card to active mode, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. So the first effect, when you it allows you to play it, potentially take a life if you want to, and minus up by 10k. When you get to turn 3, you got another effect, what's on the board, and then pay 1 energy, sack off one of your red ribbon army cards in your battle area, restand it so it can attack again, and then minus it by 20k. So a very bit minusing, and for 2 energy you can get 20k swing and a second 20k swing, while minusing up to 30k of stuff. And also, as well as that, it's a good target for your Z-Extra to kind of push through some big damage as well. Then we go to our Ever 8-drop Cell Max. This is a really good one for later in the game, when you want to trigger, like say if you go against decks where they have barrier or don't play many battle cards or anything like that, and you're not having less of a fun time trying to minus things on your opponent's your board just to get the effect that leads to draw. Just one nice little benefit of this lead is that where the draw is reliant to you minusing battle cards, you can potentially not draw and save yourself from decking out by not drawing against mill decks and stuff like that. So that's quite handy. And this one is a good way to help trigger that leader's frontside draw effect on your turn if your opponent decides not to play anything to let you minus. So it's a 25k blocker. It's got 2 autos and an activate main. The activate main is how you pay it cheap, because it's limit 1 for 1 red. If your leader is red and your opponent has 3 or more energy, you play this card from your hand. So that's it. Just it's one of those ones like we've got seen with some bigger ever boss cards, where you need your opponent to get to at least turn 3. Be fair, let them have it for a turn before you can drop it. And it's nothing special, it's just 25k blocker. But then it has some nice little autos. So the first one is when this card attacks or activates its blocker skill, you switch this card to active mode, and then it gets minus 15k power at the end of the battle. So you can swing with it. So it starts with first swing 25, resets itself straight away, so it's not in rest mode for the battle. It's activated after you resolve the auto, so you activate it straight away. Then at the end of the battle, then you minus it for 15k, so you can get it's technically a dual attacker, but the second swing will be 10k. And then if you swing with it again, the auto triggers not once per turn, then it might sit by further 15k to then kill itself off. But if it does get killed off or removed, then it's got a second auto, which is when this card is KO'd or removed from a battle area by a skill, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 30k power for the turn. So if the opponent does decide to get rid of it, they've got a little bomb going off by just minusing something by 30k. So choose one of your opponent's battle cards minus 30k to help trigger your lead, and that's the nice thing about it is you can drop it, swing the first one for 25k, restand it, get minus 15k at the end of it, and then leave it there to not attack again, so you can then block potentially twice of it to defend yourself. So it's a good card to put some pressure on and then defend yourself, which is really nice about it. And it comes in SBR forms, so you've got the 5-drop and the 8-drop in SBR forms, and that is all the Red Ribbon Army cards. So not too many, but we play mostly 4 copies of each. Probably would play an extra copy of Magenta, but I thought it just a little bit more space, and 3's still good enough as well, because it's just free counter. And you need to wait until really you get the Z extra card to drop first, where the other ones are just live, just more useful in bigger quantities most times. And Then we go to the other card, so we're going to go for the Unison package, because Red has a very good Unison package, some very good stuff involved around Unisons. And Baby is the one we've gone for. Like, you can run Jiren. Jiren's a handy one because probably look at Jiren like his alter, where if your opponent plays a battle card or Unison, you can minus by 10k for the turn when they play it, and then that'll trigger your lead effects. Jiren's a quite a nice one to help trigger that. But the only problem is, with that one, it doesn't really get you any draw. Well, this adds to your draw power to get you a bigger hand size, to keep you flowing with cards, to help you defend yourself a little bit easier as well. And it's a harder to remove Unison, where Jiren, you only gain one marker a turn, and it's got no protection for its markers, where Baby, even though it's weaker, it's still got a lot of protection because it's got those permanents as well, where when you tapped out, your leader gets extra 1k power for the turn, making it a little bit easier to defend yourself by having that extra 1k to help. And as well as that, if it would lose a marker by a battle, you can then detach a card from underneath it, and that's how it pluses to, and it can add to that protection by its +1 by allowing you to draw a card to gain extra cards. Like slurp up one of your opponent's battle cards, it's all a bit into itself, and you give yourself 10k power to battle, so it could be a 20k swing with a 10k defensively. Absorbing your opponent's cards, like remove things from the board that you don't want to be there, you can always minus it before doing that and then absorb it. And then, yeah, giving you extra draws as well. So it's a really good Unison. We play 4 copies of it because you can always charge it or sack it off as well. And there's a Dell as well, so that's that counterplay. Since you have just Red is the only one that's got 2 free counterplays, with one being the normal one that basically any you can run with any Unison, and then it was the only color that got a second one for specific cost Unisons in Videl and Current Danger. This one's a really good one. It's just like something with Charismatic, its counterplay is just playing itself, and then if you've got a Unison, Red Unison with a specified cost of 3 in play, then you can play this, use this counter without paying its entry cost, and it's affected also by the knockoff mark off a Unison, and as long as you use red or a heroine card, you get the minus, choose 2 battle cards, minus over 20k power each, and then yeah, that would once again trigger your draws on your lead to Awaken side, and just get a bit more defense. That's a really nice little combination there. Nothing special, just a good one to have. And then we've got 2 copies of SS Son Gohan, defeating the demon. And the nice thing about this card, it's going to get reprinted for the finals prizing, so it should be a lot easier to obtain. Because I think it still is a little bit not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's not too expensive. But yeah, you get one. It's just really nice because you can accumulate Z energy, especially if you get Z extra out to it. This is one of the cards that just requires a Z energy on cost of Z cards in your battle area or on your Z in your Z energy. So having a Z extra on board counts to it, and then more Z energy. So if you have 2 Z energy and a Z extra on board, it's the Z extra costs 1 Z energy. You got this to be down to a 1-drop. This is really handy to come down, more minusing as well, and double strike 20k pressure or a blocker as well. So very handy all-round card to help with this lead. Then we got another Gohan, this time being the Gohan rare, being Son Gohan facing the Angel Terror. Another really nice card, easy to play because you can always play out by its activate main/battle. Very easy because your aim not to awaken is get under 4, so once you awaken, then this card is always live, just 1 energy play itself. And it's got a nice thing to add to the lead by just helping you manage with wide boards. Through its first also, the minus all your opponent's battle cards by 10k when it's played, and then if you're minus 7 things or more, you get double 10k on the card itself. And then you can be able to see charge it, and then triggering its also to minus over 15k to also get that effect as well. So more minusing and really easy use. And yeah, it's just a nice one to help deal with wide boards should you need to. We play 2 copies because 2 copies is perfectly fine. The 6 just want a DC1, and you most likely will control power this has 2 of them. Then we've got 4 super combos. Gone for just around. It's just the best super combo. Like each color has these kind of super combos from set 11. It's bottom deck control 2. It's a bit problematic with 0 cost 0k combo power at the beginning. Against like some, but they're very niche situations where that's a problem. And yeah, just very super combo. You have to go down to 4 to awaken anyway, so it's going to be alive as soon as you get to awaken, so very useful. And it helps make your help you deal with like potentially dead hands or use dead cards in hand, but put them back in the deck so you can get 2 fresh new ones. Then for overrun, we've got our SS4 Vegeta, Heat Fight Spirit, just if you have trouble trying to remove something. like saying like a mirror match with red where you can't minus it. Like I know there's in some red decks you've got runs with red Z leaders, and you have that on Megan. That then, if it gets minus the first time, it gets more power, and then you have to minus it forever to try and get rid of, which is a proper bit of a trouble for red. So you got the thing that Vegeta just for free over on it, move something forward and then swing for a free 30k, which is nice. And a secret I've gone for is Pan Time Control Maiden, because even though red does have some good secrets, the Vegeta that burns life is a little bit expensive, and yeah, you don't really want to be getting down to just one to finish him off. You can just get him to two, because you've got a double striker in double striker pressure in magenta, and also the Z extra for your 8 drops as well. So with a feel like that, then tag could be a pretty handy one to help that you get things on the board to defend yourself with, and could be a third ender to help you with your defense as well. So, and also if you just put more pressure, the more battle cards you get out on the board, the cheaper it is to put down as a free 40k offensively, as well as being good defensively as well. So that's all the battle cards. So heavy on the archetype, but then some of the good red cards. And then we get some of the extras, being 2 Wolfang Fists, because we've got a Unison package, and this essentially becomes it replaces itself. In like most ever red decks, you just play it, you minus by using it to just help yourself defend against a certain swing. But in this deck, use this Wolfang Fist, minus flank even through barrier by 50k, and then your lead then gets the draw card, as long as you're on the battle card at least. Yeah, then it gets to replace yourself by using a card. Really nice. Just one of the nice things about this is some of the cards, if you neg yourself by actually using the card, you then replace themselves. So yeah, just replace themselves in hand by just drawing one once per turn. And then we've got the 2 copies of Frieza's Death Ball. Since you can go for double striking your lead, this makes a nice bit of a power difference by putting for 1 energy 25k difference by giving your attacking card or attacking battle card or your leader card 15k, and then minusing your opponent's battle card or leader card by 10k for the battle. So if you're going in on your leader, go for double magenta, pay 1 for this, you minus their leader by 10k for the battle, and give your leader an extra 15. So like if you have this Frieza's Death Ball, magenta, gamma and magenta, and you're going hard on your lead, that's extra 25k with this, an extra 20k with this gamma, and then an extra 5k plus put a double strike on the lead, making for a very big leader swing finish off. And all your opponent has to do is just try and combo out of it, which might be a little bit difficult the harder you go. And 2 copies of this, because even though like you need to use energy for it, it's not cheap. It's not for free like a Wolfang Fist, but it's still a very good card to help even defensively to deal with big swings, looks like tall swings, and offensively it's really good as well. Plus another card to help add to energy drawing as well for your lead. Then we got 3 after image ones. This is really handy just to like deal with certain decks, like just help defend yourself. Like when your opponent's trying to go on a big swing, just help yourself out by giving a card of extra 40k boost defensively. And the nice thing about it is it can be played for free as well. But you gotta watch out for counters nowadays, because they're all about in a lot of things. Like you got in red, you got the King Vegeta's, I can't remember what it's called, the King Vegeta one. You've got the Hunter Demon God one in black, and all other colors as well that play the same color energy. And it's just handy. 3 copies of it because it helps defend, and you're gonna have 3 extra life so you can use up as well as what you wait before. You've got 3 life you can use for things like this. Yep. Then we move on to the last 2 cards. So one being copy Beerspall. Like you kind of need like certain deal with floodgates. Beerspall's a nice handy one, and even if you use it defensively to stop something from playing, it doesn't have to collect, and it's 15k. You get extra 5k boost, and then incorporate that with gamma as well. Since you make your leader 25 for the turn to defend yourself. And then that brings us to the last card deck, being 2 copies of Testing Opposition. Now, this was once again a free negate as well. Take a life of it because once again you're going to be getting yourself down on life early enough, and you can be played by taking, as long as you've got 5 or less life, you can take a life instead of paying its entry cost, and you're going to negate the attack and bring out a token. That's got a blocker, and it's one of the set of 3, being the black one as well as the green one. That is its token has combo power, so if you don't use it to block, and it loses blocker after the turn you used it, then you've still got for combo power as well, which is really handy. And then that brings us to the end of the main deck. So that's the main deck, the 450 cards. Don't want to go high, you want to keep that access guide. Then we go on to the Z deck though. So we're only playing 5 cards in the Z deck, and just very nice, useful ones. So first one we've had since the beginning that was what people thought was absolutely busted. It wasn't the. It is a really good card, but isn't itself busted. It depends on how easy you can generate Z energy, which we found from Sin and SS4. Now decks that can generate Z energy very easily and quickly without effort. Can make really good use of it, but not many red decks can do that and just use up the 2 energy for this. So what it went from being a staple 4 of, it's gone down to people using 1 or 2 copies in the decks now. But it's still a very fantastic card because it can get 2 swings in potentially, and every time it does swing, it's an extra 5k combo by combo for free from your drop of red card, getting that energy back up. Has deflect as well, and on its second swing it can be barrier 25k double striker as well. So that's an easy inclusion of 1. Then we've got 2 copies of the Android 14 and 15 Team Up Terrors, because this one's a really nice one. It does cost a whopping free Z energy though, but then that free Z energy while on board makes it so Gohan's always live, and you can always get a little bit of protection with barrier. But it's a 2 cost with free Z energy, 15k. It does have a fair few keyword skills: to deflect, unique, dual attack, and blocker. So unique, meaning even though we got 2 copies, you only play 1 on the board at a single time. But then once you've got 1, it's going to be hard to remove, and if they do remove it, you want to get another one out, because it's got a nice little permanent to get you out cheaper by, if you have a red Android card with energy cost of 7 or more in play, you reduce this card's energy cost in your Z deck by 1, making it a 1 cost with free Z energy instead of a 2 cost with free Z energy. And it's very easy to get a 7 cost or more red Android card, because the 2 cell maxes you play 4 copies of are 8 drops that could go down for 1. So 1 for those, and then that makes it this easier and cheaper, and you can bring it out. And this is a really nice card for the Z deck, more than you probably think, because it's got two really nice alters, both for once per turn. First one is when this card attacks, you use it to 1 Android card when you drop in a combo with skills negated for the turn. And then this card gets barried until the end of your opponent's turn. So this is how you give barrier, you drop it out. When you first swing with an combo with a red Android from your drop, which you should have plenty of, just grab. And then gains barrier, so it's now a barrier dual attack with blocker. And then you can swing a second time afterwards with barrier, or you can use it as a barrier blocker. And if you do use it as blocker, once you've given it barrier, the ever autos 1 per turn. When you activate blocker, switch to active mode. So you can use it as a swing and then a dual blocker next time, just like how you could do the same with the 8 drop cell max. Or you can use it as a dual attacking first. I remember the first swing is normally always 20 because you're comboing with a 5k Android card. You can, if you want to, incorporate take out one of the Vegeta super combos to put in a Android 20 super combo that we got, the one that requires certain Z energy and a Z battle card in there. So that, because it doesn't specify a certain cost on this one on the combo cost like some other cards do. Like if you look at like Vegeta, it's a common cost of 5k you can combo with, and but this one it's just any red Android. And the draw is a super combo, so 0 cost 5k. You can combo with that to then get that free combo, like combo up to 25 instead if you wanted to. It's like one niche situation. But depends if you want to cut 1 rad super combo for Android 20. So we got 2 copies of that because it's just very useful, and it's going to be dropped more often than Rush Attack because it can be cheaper to a 1 cost. And then we got next one, Defender of Life. That's a really nice one to help burn your opponent down to make it a little bit easier to finish them off. Just bring that for 2. A bit more of a heavier cost, being a free 2 cost with free Z energy, but then it's worth it because it comes down. It's going to have barrier, and because it doesn't need to say it in your drop to gain barrier from the auto, but it just comes down as a 20k barrier with double strike and deflect, false protection in both barrier deflect, but not permanently barrier, but at least permanently deflect. And a 20k double striker to try and finish it off. And also, if your opponent is at 4 more life, you burn them with damage, split them from 4 to 3, so you can just start having an easy time doing damage and making them have to worry about if they're gonna what life they're on. This is like a staple for red deck. Every red deck should at least run one of those. Then we've got 1 copy of Cell Max, Advent and Spare. This is probably the more expensive card in the Z deck, being a free cost with 2 Z energy, so cheaper Z energy cost, but more costly in paying your actual energy for it in 20k, but does have barrier and blocker, it's got protection, but doesn't have deflect to stop it. So it's vulnerable to counter plays, but still has protection once it's aboard due to barrier. And it could be useful in certain situations because it's got a little nice 2 autos. First one is when this card attacks, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 15k power for the turn, so that's not once per turn. but you might be thinking, it doesn't matter for that, you can't attack more than once. But it does have never also be once per turn if it's your turn, so it only works during your turn. When one of your card skills reduce the power of one, reduces the card's power to 0 or less, you switch the card to active mode. So once per turn, during your turn, if you minus something down to 0, this will restand itself so you can attack again. So you can potentially swing with this, choose one of your opponent's battle cards at 15k or less that you can choose to minus it by 15, and it'll restand, and then that's two 20k swings, or a 20k swing and then a blockage in your opponent's turn, depending on what you want to do with it and depending how the situation is for your turn. And then the last one is the Z extra, being omnidirectional beam. So it gives a little bit smaller on deck planet because it shows the wide, because it's it's a landscape card, not a portrait one. And this one's really nice because it's it's free cost Z extra with 1 Z energy, but remember you got Leader's effect to reduce the cost of it by 2 by sacking off one of your red cards to make it cheaper, so you can pay it for a 1/1. And it's got some really nice effects, and that is first one for the auto, which is when this card is placed in the battle area, you choose all your opponent's battle cards, and those cards get minus 25k power for the turn. So like sometimes a board wipe, depends on if they got some bigger things or if they got things with barrier, but you give everything on the board, and that's in the battle area. All the opponent's battle cards minus 25k power, so it triggers your leader's effect, the draw, and also can potentially reduce them to 0 and get rid of them by game mechanics. And that's not just all, just when you keep it on out. So you keep it down so you can then make your magenta free to play to just counter and minus something for 10k. And also the energy cost, that's harder to remove from the battle area for your go home. And there's another effect, which is the activate battle, which has a good benefit, which 8-drop cell maxes. So it's limit once, you can only use this once across all opposite cards, so you can't just play this, use it, and then play another one, use it. You can only do this once a turn across all opposite card. And that is if you have 4 more energy, your red cell max SH card with energy cost of 8 is attacking, and you remove this card from the game. So once again, use it, lose it. You need to wait till turn 4 to do this, and it works only with a energy cost of 8 cell max. So that's the cost, and then the effect is the attacking card gets 15k power and double strike for the battle. So you add a whopping 15k and double strike to your 8-drop cell max, turning your TB promo into a 35k double striker. And the other one, the blocker, being a 40k double striker to finish off. So that's a really good way. So you leave this on the board, making use of it, and when you go in for 8-drop and connects, and not much you can do it, slap this on, make a double strike, even drop on a Freezer's Death Ball and a Gamma, and you're looking at like a huge double striking 8-drop swing from that as well. So that's one of the big benefits of that. So like a nice little really compact. You can probably change it up if you want to. You can replace the cell max free drop here is an easy one to drop if you don't want it. That's an easy one to switch out for something different, and potentially rush attack if you want to. But it's mainly the cell max is the more flexible spot in this. And I do have a side deck as well. So as you can see already, because we have one in the main, we've got an extra Beerus board inside. Sometimes you might want an extra counter play, deal with things like repose and stuff. It's up to you, like if you want to deal with some floodgates that can be hit by 15k, it's a really handy one. But we've got this definitely if you want to go against blue and you don't want them to abuse D-Magic, almost every blue deck runs D-Magic to defend itself, and it's when they can play free and get that extra energy back to defend themselves quite well. And this one like kind of punish them for if they want to use it to get burnt a little bit, and also it's a barrier cantrip as well, so it's got a protection there. Got the King Vegeta's Hidden Ambitions, that's the name of it, Hidden Ambitions. So while a majority of decks to have just the one color, the one type of energy play, that's all the same color, or all same colors, to stop counter plays that are free played, extra cards, extra cost one, which a lot of them much like it's down. You've got the Green Gohan one, you've got the Sparking Negate, you've got Dormant, you've got After Image, stuff like that, like these free negates, like Wolfang Fist, stuff like that. These free extra cards that you're playing, you can kind of stop them, and this is a better one for red because most of the old decks have 100 Demon God to use, but that's an extra card to stop them, so it can be dead in hand, and it needs to have all your energy the same color, which some decks might have trouble with. Whereas this one, full red, is exclusive red as long as your leader is red and all your energy is mono red. So you got to be playing a mono red deck to use this. So if you're in a multicolor, which is like Cooler or Red Beerus, you might have a bit of trouble. But any red deck that's running all just mono red energy. You need to wait till your opponent has 3 or more energy, which is fair enough, it's easy enough to get to. And it does the same thing as Hunter Demon Guard, which negate the counter skill of an extra card with original energy cost of 1 that was activated without paying its energy cost, and play this card. So you get to stop the card, but unlike Hunter Demon Guard, you get to play this out, and then it's a 5k combo you can still use on that attack that you can just force through. And the ever effect on it is relevant because you're not playing a red Saiyan card, and the Vegeta's lineage stuff is pretty shit and pretty lackluster. Yeah. And then we've got 2 copies of Black Smoke. I know there's been a whole thing about this potentially being errata to 1 black. It could be an error, it could be a mistake. We'll see that soon when we eventually see what's going on with it. This has been a thing, but it could be just like how Bandai's done before, like with the Zeno Judge card, like the Zeno Super Combo, the one that in blue you can combo with and add a card from your energy to your hand and put another card from your hand to your energy. That one was pretty normally with the 0 cost 10k as a super combo, and then when they did the Judge version of it for the Judge promos, there was an extra 1 cost to its combo cost, meaning that it was printed wrong in the Judge one, but then it's always been a 0 cost 10k, and that's probably this. Like I don't see Bandai's never really added specific costs to cards before, and there is the theory people will be thinking about because there's the Unison's going to be soon. It could be an errata to it, but I don't reckon that's going to be the case. Like this generic card is useful for Unisons, but then it's not really worthy. It's not like a huge issue. Black Smoke Dragon is just a very good card. That's it. And then another card that's kind of similar to how you're gonna use it for, like as Black Smoke Dragon. We've got the SSB Kaioken Son Goku Concentrated Destruction. Now this kind of has the same aspect as like Black Smoke. You pay it for 2 to remove something, ignoring barrier, but this Kaioken kind of has a little better use because it can either go like deal with whiteboards or paying for free to minus KO all your opponent's battle cards at 20k or less, or you can use it to activate main for 2 red, discard it from your hand, and minus 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier by 25k. And the benefit of that is that most of the time, minusing something through barrier by 25k, you can get rid of it. But the added benefit to this deck rather than most decks is because it's minusing to get through, and it triggers the leader's effective rules, meaning it's not on -1 using this in this deck like it would be in other red decks. So this is a nice handy one to use, whereas Black Smoke Dragon can also help deal with drawing more if you need be for 2 energy, or he's dealing with Unisons. Then we got 1 copy of the Galactic Explorers, SS Goku, SS Trunks, and Pan. This was a nice one. If you come against like Hatch or you want a bit more protection in Unison, I always find this in some red decks is a nice one to just add to your main or to your side, because it's a nice card you can add to under your Unison to give it more markers, make it a little bit harder to kill because having more markers on it. And also, as well as that, especially with the baby Unison, it's never card underneath it to add extra level of protection. And at the very least, you can even play it out as well. So once you get turn 4, you for free energy, you can play it out for under Unison to bring it out as just like a free 30k swing, to just for free energy bring out 30k swing with it, put it back under to give more Unison, more markers and stuff. Or even then make use of, like, especially with the baby Unison, make use of the fact that it's got a lot of markers on for its board wipe to just give it triple attack so it can get free swings in and minus your opponent's entire board by 30k power, once again triggering the lead and giving you a triple attacker for free energy, and then put it back under after you all 3 swings. And it just helps with like this one doesn't have as bad a matchup against Hatchak because you've got some 8 drops you can get in to just swing after you've done whatever battle card swing, and has a Unison as well. This is just added every level to get us out as well for more 8 drop swings to get through Hatch, because people seem to have trouble with Hatch, even though Hatch isn't that much like a trouble with deck, and not even a slow deck either. Then we've got 2 copies of Dispo. This is a nice one. You got Mecha Yukabura being a more prominent lead in the meta because it's become a bit stronger with the anniversary box support, and it's got one of those effects where it can give itself triple attack, that's attack 3 times, and you kind of don't want to deal with that. And a good way to stop that and hunt that, slap it down, is by Dispo. You can use Dispo for free as well. So if you use it on a leader card attack, so it negates the attack, puts it off in rest mode. If you use it on a leader card attack, that leader can't attack for the rest of the turn. So after Mechi's gone, right, I'm going to use the effect. Bottom deck card to be able to give it triple attack. First swing, negate this, then it gets that replacement of drawing a card, but now it can swing for the other 2 swings, and the attack's negated. Yeah, so be back in active mode and they can still go to a Z lead on top of it, but then they don't get the 4 potential swings, or the 3 potential swings they have, they only get 2, or none if they still can't go to Z lead. And you can always use it for free as well, so it has free negate by using its permanent, which if you can take 2 markers off, you can use Spirit Boost 2 to use the counter for free if you want to, which with a baby Unison, having potential to rack up tons of markers and not really using it, because a lot of people once baby gets too many markers, they just stop going into it, thinking I'm not going to get markers down, just go to lead instead. And especially since they can if they attack into it, the baby user, you can always just sack off cards from underneath it instead of saving the markers. And sometimes people give up on it, which leaves you to have the Spirit Boost 2 easily able to be used for this. And we've got two copies of those because they can be really handy, especially if you want and it's a free negate you can use that can get hit by Hunter Demon God and things like that, because Hunter Demon God and King Vegeta's Hidden Ambition both stop extra card that's played for free, not battle cards, which dispose battle card. Then we've got Violent Rays, still a good card, but with the new red extra card, that's going to be replaced straight away. Violent Rays could be replaced by that because Violent Rays was errated to be a lot worse than it used to be, and the new new Floodgate for red is bonkers. So yeah, it's going to be switched out for that. But at the moment, Violent Rays would be a handy one for dealing with big deck or big swings. And then we got one Flying Grand Evil. This one's going to be a lot better now if the new VS deck, the new yellow VS deck I've seen from the leaks that Banner put up themselves, comes out, because that's a card that can't be affected by anything that's not a battle card, and this is a good way to help defend out of it, because they'll just drop it. It's a 40 or 45k victory strike. You attack your opponent. You can use Crack the Ground Eagle. Doesn't negate the attack anyway, but it can't be negated by negates anyway. So they attack, you use this, and rather than just fail to negate the attack, you at least give your leader an extra 100k power for that battle. So they're gonna have to combo up a ton to try and reach it, and then you'll have easier time if they try and get up past the 100k, like your 100 or 115k lead. You can help defend yourself a little bit better. Have to put everything into it. You didn't combo up a little bit further, so you have to reach up to a high level or just end it there while you've just like survived a VS swing. It's one of the best ways to kind of help deal with it without like trying to figure out like a complicated way to use battle cards to negate. Just use Flight Around Eagle. There you go. You've got your you can survive a VS swing a lot easier. And then the last card is Final Guardian, which is a nice one. Just use it as a negate that you can also use in the drop as well. So yeah. And nice thing about it is you can give an extra 5k to one of your battle cards. So if you've got a Cell Max that you drop, you get extra 5k, so potentially swing. So if you give that 5k for this and a 5k for something else, you potentially give it have it as a way to survive block 3 times rather than just 2, and then on the 3rd block, then pop itself to minus over 30k. And that is the deck. So yeah, that's the entire deck. Main deck side. You can always opt to change up things in the side deck. Side deck's more flexible. Like these are just some nice options. I thought this isn't the confirmed final side decks with the new Floodgate and a bit more testing. You can figure out a bit more. But I thought these are very useful side deck options to help for certain ones. And yeah, I might have to do a little bit more tweaking maybe to the main. And yeah, the Z deck's absolutely fine. Just you got the Cell Max as a flex spot. But this is a really fun deck. Can accumulate quite a few cards. And it's just, yeah, really enjoyable, really fun. Like, red is not, like, in a bad way in the meta, even before the new Floodgate. But, just people don't really try to, like, test things that they enjoy. They just go with whatever they think is the best, like, the majority of people. And not many people actually, like, try to help fun things and do it. Like, it's only, like, only, like, a small portion of the community that actually tries out different decks to try and have fun, to try out different things. Because we left before the Unison Warrior series of the deck building phase of the game, where now it's just Build-A-Bear for most sets. Just all comes there ready to build. Just build the deck from the set, try it out, and that's it. Not much in terms of deck building, but when there are, it's quite fun. And this Sunmax deck is quite fun and a nice way to try out something different as well. So if you like it, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And give it a try as well. And if you want to check out some gameplay, check out some from the last few weeks I had with when I played against Oob as well. A full free game match. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.